Hey everyone, how's it going? Blue Riser here. I just wanted to get this out of the way first before anything else. My gripes with Smash Rising.
And here we go.
Now obviously it just released. I wanted to make this video beforehand because when I was playing Smash Tap, I had so many issues with it the first like 1 to 2 months, and I really didn't voice them. And that's coming from me, a person who has I've played over 41 smartphone games in the past 2 years. So I kind of already know not instantly, but after a good amount of playtime, when I'm looking at things I don't like and things I do like. And easily, just looking at Rising, I can tell you stuff I don't like from it. Obviously, we're going to go over it bit by bit. Some of them are minor nitpicks, so don't take them 100% seriously. And some of them are big issues to me. The first thing, something I complained about Smash Tap for, so this isn't just a Rising thing. Why is the music so bad? The music is horrible. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of a subjective thing. I just could not find myself enjoying any of the music. I know there are other people who agree with this sentiment. Next thing is the present box. When you first start the game, if you had an old account, which a good majority of you guys did, when I did the poll from the beginner's guide, we had over 80% of the people were old players, and like around 20% were new players. So here we are just seeing a bunch of the older players come here. So if you are an older player, you had all of your stuff given back to you. Why wasn't there like accept all from all pages tab? Like this red one right here, as you can see I'm tapping, that's just accept all on the singular page. Why is it not accept everything from all of the pages? I understand it would be like a long list of shit, but who cares? You don't want to have to go through 30 pages. At least for me, I had to go through like 30 pages of stuff. Same thing with the mission. Why is there not like an accept all for mission things? It makes very little sense. And we have push notifications too, which are nice. I can't read Japanese very well, or at least the stuff here is pretty easy to read. I also think the relation chart is such a huge time sink that it's not even worth it to begin with. The amount of time you have to do just to get to like the first one, it's not a lot. Think about how many characters you probably want to make a correlation with to get their skills and abilities. Alright, let's just say that boost. Now in all honesty, a lot of the characters have repeat correlations. As you can see, it's just one stat like 3% and like Crisis 10%. But still, it just means you're going to be playing with one singular team, which just doesn't work since you have so many R factors in the game. So say you just luck out and get like skills for another character, but this is a character you never used before, and so they have no correlation with anyone else. You don't get any boosts. I think if anything, the correlation should have had a higher experience increase. Or what I mean by that is when you clear a map, like the beginning one, from begin to light, it should be so much easier. Now this could change in the future. Maybe they'll add like stages that have a larger correlation boost to it. At the meantime, I just don't like how long it takes. It's just a huge time sink, and a game with this many characters is just too much. It's too much to handle for most people. At least I would think it would be. You're really just going to have a good correlation with like 1 to 2 characters, and that's about it. And I actually think the gacha is better than it was in Smash Tap, especially since we get the +1 to the summoning. It's so great. So I think the gacha is actually better than what we had before. R Factor, on the other hand, is a totally different monster that I'm not even sure if I can talk about all of it today. But as far as the gacha goes, it's totally great. I like how the badges only cost 1 hero soul. That way, if I have like an odd number, or I feel like, hey, I just want to use some hero souls to summon something, it's always going for a useful cause when it comes to the gacha. The shop is particularly fine too. There's not much really to complain about or even praise. It's just kind of a smartphone game shop. Nothing really special here. Then we move over to the deck. The deck. Now, yes, there is a disconnect because I am English and it's a Japanese game. So constantly looking at Japanese is kind of irritating. First thing I want to cover is the list, right? Let's just talk about the R factor. Just looking at all of the cards that you have. This is the worst. This is the absolute worst thing I could think of. First of all, you have to touch every single card to lock them. In Fate Grand Order, there's an auto lock ability where you just click another tab and you can then click on the cards and lock all the cards you want to lock. I have to lock all of this shit. It's a lot of stuff. Like, no one wants to go through all of that tedious work just to lock all of their items in. Sure, you can equip them and then they're technically locked, but still, it's a lot of work just to go through securing all of your things? Why wasn't there an easier method implemented? And then even more so, touching every single card to find their effect is annoying as well. Why isn't there, at like right here, maybe I'll put a box on the screen. Right here, why isn't there a thing when you touch the card, it gives you a preview of the card's skill. If you want to go even deeper, then you hold the card. Why isn't that an option when you have so many cards? So now you're going to have to hold every card, go back, remember what you need, go back to your deck, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And this is a problem a lot of other games have too, so it's not inherently Smash Rising's problem. When you have so many skill cards, craft essences, worm prints, it doesn't matter what, having an easy way to see the effect of the card is the best thing. But so far, many games don't do this, but it's 100% inconvenient. I think the sorting and filter is pretty alright. You've got, if you want to see it by your equipped items and then the unequipped ones, you know, levels or attributes, totally fine. I don't think there's much of an issue here. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the R factor settings, or I should say like how the cards act. So let's go over something that really annoys me about R factor cards. Now in Smash Tap you had 3 stars that could turn to 4 stars, right? And there was a slight difference in appearance. This time around, both of those versions, so at the 3-star version and the 4-star version, or the 5-star version to 6-star version, are totally different cards. I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Sure, you get 2 cards now. It's kind of annoying because if you have, let's say these 2 Kindles, right? They're not the same Kindle anymore. So if you want to level one up, such as merge the R factors together to increase the skill ability, you need to have the version that's right. So if I went to the 5-star version, instead of merging with the 4-star version, I had to find another 5-star version. It bloats the R factor card number so high. Because now, it's not that we have like 100 something characters, it's like 200 something characters. Or I should say R factors in this case. I guess the only redeeming factor to this is that the cards still have the same effect. Or at least the R factor has the same effect. So these 2 Ashidos you can see over here, they have the same ability. That's cool and all. So you have duplicates of the same ability if you want to stack stuff. But when it comes to managing all of your R factors, it just makes an ugly, ugly mess. Okay, and another issue is right here you have these, what they call it, the boosters. Why is this a plus button? Why is it not a slider? How come we don't get a slider? This is very tedious. And then if you move your hand, it stops it. So you have this button, you just make a slight move, it's over. Why is it like that? Why could we not have gotten a slider? And then for sake of tedium, right, you have, when you level up, right, here we go, level up. Whatever, leveling up animation, pretty standard stuff, right? One by 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 one. Don't get me wrong, I hate this in all games. All games. Why does it have to do this 40 times in order for it to complete? Why? Is there any actual reason for this to happen like this? And like I said, don't get me wrong, there are other games that do this too, and they're just as faulty, and I don't like it either. Now, yeah, there's a skip button, but like, why? Why do we have to? Why would there even be an option to sit through 40 levels instead of the bar going up once and it going straight to level 40? I don't think there's anything wrong with character badges. It's a fine system. It works how it does. The only thing I kind of wish is that we get costumes sooner or later. I understand the game just came out, so I'm holding my breath for it. I'm not going to hold my breath for it right now. But hopefully we get new costumes, because the costumes we have right now, at least for the characters who have their old ones, are bad. And maybe some iterations and variants, like Bakugo with the one gauntlet on his arm. You know, that's just one thing I'm going to miss so much about Smash Tap, is that we got character models that were really cool. And like costumes and stuff like that. Goodbye swimsuit units, right? We'll never get those again. Then we move over to the team. I feel like there's a lot to say here, but I'm not really sure where to start. I think the setup is pretty fine. There's nothing really wrong here. You've got your character skill, then you've got your R factor skill, and then your character's base traits, and like maybe if they got like attack skills, like right here, you've got that kind of stuff. So overall, the display is fine, and it's even easy to switch out characters like that. Okay, you know what? If anything, I can say that I do not like how you can just put other characters' cards on any character. I don't like it. It's just weird. What's the point of me having any of like Himiko's cards here when I can just throw any other character and it works just as well? Sometimes might even be better. Like, I would expect if a character were to be given a card for themselves, such as my Himiko card, which isn't inherently just for Himiko, anyone can use it, that she would get a greater buff, but she doesn't. Now, yeah, there are character-specific cards that you can get, but at the same time, it's just like, what about my old cards? And it's obvious they want to push the newer cards onto us, even though we have over now, like 250 plus cards from Smash Tap that are kind of not useless, but have less meaning because they're not limited to said character, or at least give said character better stats and buffs. What if someone was only playing Smash Tap and they were only going for like Todorokis? A good amount of your Todorokis aren't going to be useful for your Todoroki. You're better off just putting other 5-star characters on them. Alright, now we move over to my biggest gripe about the game so far. By far, this is my largest issue about the game. I really don't care about the slow power pacing, as when you level characters up, you're just not going to get very far very fast. It's not like you can just start powering through and get to high numbers at the start. I have a bunch of units, a bunch of 5-star that are now R-Factor cards that are 5-star, and I've maxed them out to max level. I put them on characters, but even still, I'm kind of not at in-level stuff yet. And of course, I guess I shouldn't be, but still. Like, the power pacing is very, very slow. At least on my end, it seems to be that way. If you had different experiences, tell me. Like, what's your max power right now? Like, I can get to around 1500 and a little higher. But let's talk about this right here. X Crisis. This is the multiplayer, right? Yeah, kinda, in a way, but not really. When you do X Crisis, you just jump into a map. Either you'll be joining someone else, or you go on your own and some other people will join you. Here's the biggest issue. So we go over here to X Crisis, right? You select which one you want to do, right? Let's choose this one. Now you click this yellow phone. Here on X Crisis, this says Dare Demo, which just means anyone. And then over here means follower. And then you can even set minimum and maximum like player ranks. But I don't really see a real point in that since everyone is just now getting started. Maybe like a month or so into the game. And then you can even just turn it off. Why would that be the case if this is a multiplayer mode? So mine is just set to anyone, because why wouldn't it be? And it works the same for other stuff here. This is Battle Quest, anyone. You're telling me we've lost the ability of a lobby. We no longer have multiplayer lobbies, so you can't just find multiplayer. You just have to be playing at the same time as other people. And if you really want to just find unique people, such as just your friends, or people like in a Discord, you have to be following them, and you have to be playing at the same time. Well, obviously you do. Still, at the same time, it's so annoying. Because let's say your follower list has like 30 people on it, and you just want to play with this specific 2 or 3 people. So now, maybe one of the other people who are happening to do X Crisis would just jump in and you're like, oh, well, that just ruins everything. Why did they get rid of lobbies? What was the point of that? In here, I was expecting for them to go higher with the lobbies, go better with the lobbies, being able to kick people who were just sitting around not pressing OK, add like a timer to them or something. But no, they just completely just flub everything. This is the worst part about it. This is literally the worst. Probably have to count on a bunch of random people, because if you're like me and live in America, you're gonna have to go out of your way to find people who play the game. You know, the Discord and Reddit exist, but still, maybe you'll add some Japanese people too, so you just have random people you don't know how to communicate with. So I think the multiplayer was a total flub. It fell short so hard. Not even fell short, it just hit the ground. It fell, tripped down the stairs, hit every single stair, and it somehow managed to crawl out. But this is the state it's in. This is the state of its multiplayer. Worse than what Smash Tap was. The Smash Tap was not a good multiplayer lobby. And then this is my final gripe. So we have the difficulties, right? And you need a might level, power level. I'm not sure what they really call it. But this is BS. This is bullshit. It's just 100% bullshit. So you have to get a power level in order to do a certain thing. In Smash Tap, all you really needed was a capable 5-star who had like 4,500 attack, defense, and health, like above that margin, and you could do just about anything. Why? Because the gameplay was based on action, not some RNG bullshit. Here, let's go do this one right now. Let's find my green team. This is my green team. is 1302. So it's very close. It's a very close power level. But in order to really beat this, you need to be like 1500, because it can just BS you throughout the whole way. Because you've lost control of your characters, you no longer have a way of controlling the battle. So we're going to go into it. We're going to probably lose, even though our power level is very, very close. So here we go. The game is an auto combat, right? I hate how the characters jump around. At this point, why even make it like this? Because you have a bunch of characters. Let's turn this down. As I was saying, you have a bunch of characters just running around, flailing their arms. You have no control over it at all. You can use skills. Oh, that's cool. Well, here's my skill. And blah, 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 rising, right? Which I'm assuming there has to be some sort of rising skill that increases the damage rate. I'm assuming. I wouldn't know. I haven't gotten around to seeing all of the R factors. And even then, I doubt I will. Yeah, that's it. It's so boring to watch. And so you have your characters run into each other all the time, and they'll be too far to attack the other enemies, which makes no sense. Like, look at this. It's just not, it's not appealing. Now, yeah, we have just started into the game, so I would expect, like, the animations to get polished. I'm not saying the gameplay. Look at Todoroki just phasing through the enemy. And that's it. You can't do anything here. Oh, let me just use another skill, I guess. That's all I can really do. But, like, characters have their own hit rate and avoiding rate. So they'll dodge attacks on their own, and then sometimes their attacks might not even connect on their own either. So you can have your character just flailing their arms and missing every shot. And that's really what it comes to in RNG. Like, you have to just get lucky in order for you to actually, see, he dodged that attack, at least one of them. Ochak was dead. You're just sitting here and you're like, well, my power level should be adequate, it should be right enough. But it's not, it's never enough. You need to be over that number by a good margin in order to actually clear these kind of things. And it's very annoying. And then you can also, oh, well, we'll do it at the next part. If they're about to do the awkward jump, yeah, the awkward jump. It's very ugly. And you can change your strategy. If you go over here, you can change like how your characters act. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. One was like attack small fry, attack boss, be conservative. Yeah, I don't remember the rest. But this is silliness. I think if anything, we should have had one playable character. Like, you can actually use that character, and then the other two work on AI commands. Like, you can tell your other allies to use their attacks. So I think, which one's boss? I think it's that one. Probably not. It doesn't matter. We lost anyway. But yeah, that's boss. Like, I just don't like how, look at him jumping in the air for nothing. Now he's dead. Enemies have a shit ton of health, and you're just there taking a beating. That's it. It's not fun to look at. It's not fun to interact with at all. Yeah, holy shit is right, All Might. And like, playing on full auto just is the better option, because the characters just seem to move a little faster. And they activate rising faster than you probably could. Of course, we're not going to continue. Screw that. And that's it. That's all my gripes for Smash Rising. I felt like I had to say it now in order to just kind of get it out. If I felt like I got out all of my gripes, all of what I felt negative about it, maybe I would feel a bit better about the game. Because there's something here. There is a perfect, like, team building game where you can build your characters in certain ways. You don't have to conform to a certain idea. Like, this character is only an attack character. This character is only like a speed character. This is only a critical character. Like, you can build any character any way you want with the R factors. The abundance of R factors does make it overwhelming, especially for like older players who just got a bunch of crap dropped on them and you have no clue what they do. Nothing. No, yes, there is that language barrier, but let's just say you can speak Japanese. How many cards are there? There's so many you have to just keep track of. There's no merit to just keeping 5-star cards because you won't have enough cards. You need to have an abundance too. Every character has like what, 9? I think it's like 9 or 10 slots for R factor. So in reality, let's say you want to make teams. Each team, like I do, I have 5 teams, each of each element. I believe it's 9 R factor cards, but let's make it 10 just to be safe. So that'd be like what, 30? And you know what, actually I'm gonna check. Oh, I was right, it is 10. So great, even more so, you have 10 R factors. That means every team has 30. Every team has 30 R factors they have to use. So I would need 30 blue cards in order to fill this up all the way. Then you would need 30 of green cards, 30 of the red ones, 30 of yellow, 30 of purple. 150 cards in total. You would need 150 cards, 30 of each attribute, in order to just fill a whole team. Like what? That's so much. And like I said, a majority of us are probably old players, so we have that stockpile of cards from Smash Tap. And now this is a very personal thing, but I don't like auto games. I like when games have auto and skip features in it. Yes, I do like that when there are times where I have to do repetitive things. But at the same time, my favorite games are all games that you can play. Fate Grand Order is one of my favorites, and I think it's tedious as hell to gameplay. But it just means they put more thought, more love, more ideas into the gameplay than anything else than you just looking at it. Why do I have to look at a game play itself? What the hell am I doing all this work for? I'm building stuff, I'm locking in my artifacts just to look at it? And it doesn't even look good. That's the issue. That's the biggest issue about it. It doesn't even look good. When I go through the list of games I've done for Appcast, Valkyrie Connect was one of my favorites. And this is an auto game, but it looked great while in auto. You didn't have characters running into each other. You didn't have a lot of random crap happening. And the balancing was far better. I'm not sure how it is now. I played that over like a year ago. But just to list a few others that I just didn't like the auto gameplay for, we had like Panzer Waltz, which kind of just skipped over it itself really. Dragon Blaze, Air of Light. By the way, check out the Appcast playlist, shameless plug. Obviously I want to keep playing Smash Rising, but as I said before, I just wanted to get this out because I felt like if I got it out sooner, maybe I would feel better about the game. Because when I'm sitting there building my team, I'm excited. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go out with this team. And then I get to gameplay, I'm like, well shit. Luckily, I bought a second phone so I can actually just play other games on my other phone while this gameplay is going on. I can actually play something else. You know, My Hero Academia deserves better than this. And all I can do is kind of put a blind hope into the game to say, it'll get better. The gameplay won't. The gameplay won't get better at all. It's impossible. They would have to do another renewal of the gameplay. And that's really unlikely. I just don't understand why this switch. Like now looking at it, now playing it, yes, it's only been, what, 2 to 3 days? But as I said before, I've played so many of these games, I can just tell you right off the bat. What are they possibly going to enhance from this? You know, I was looking at Fire Emblem Heroes and how they've added so much new things, but the base gameplay is still the same. Yes, there are more functions to it, but the base gameplay is still there. In order to add a movement feature, they would need to revamp something else. It would be totally different. Let me mention this now since I've been looking at them for a while. Why are the character models so bad? You're Namco Bandai. How does Honkai Impact have better character models than you guys? Hell, there are plenty other like full-fledged 3D smartphone games that have great character models, but why does this one just not look that good? Like, out of these 3 characters, the character models are inconsistent, especially when it comes to quality. If I were to put Todoroki up here, Todoroki looks absolutely horrible. Like, Shigaraki actually has kind of a nice character model. Himiko, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe because her character design's a bit weird. I'm not sure. Suyu just looks kind of awkward back there, but she'll be fine. Other than that, I'm done here. How do you guys feel about it? What do you not like? I want to hear what you don't like about the game. Tell me what you don't like. I can understand people liking the game. Totally fine. If you disagree with my opinion, please tell me why. Other than that, I'm done here. I'm done. Bye.